4 o'clock Eastern. Speak, bro. Don't fumble out of the gate. Do not fumble out of the gate. 4 o'clock in the Eastern in the afternoon. I swear it's that time of day. After 4 o'clock in season on a Friday, no less. There's a part of my brain that's not firing. So anyway, 4 o'clock in the late afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. Great to be with you guys. If you could on the way in, like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Consider becoming a channel member or gift-giving membership. The guest line is open. The access link to join, if you'd like to share a thought with me entering week 14, is pinned in the live chat right now. I appreciate you guys for being with me. Instant reaction to the final injury report for both teams going into Ravens-Steelers weekend. Lamar was asked point blank which one of his Ravens teammates stepped on him, which forced him to miss practice yesterday. We learned of that, of course, from Ian Rappaport on NFL Network earlier, so we'll get into that. We'll get into the specifics of, I think, what's really encouraging about the Ravens injury report coming off their mini bye. And, of course, the loss to Cincinnati. They will go to Cincinnati, by the way, a week from Sunday to play the Bengals, and T. Higgins was just cleared from concussion protocol earlier today. So that's what we have coming up. But how can we not begin with a look back to January of 2025, the last time these two teams met in Baltimore, wild card round. The Ravens ran for 299 rushing yards, and it had Mike Tomlin, Steelers head coach, talking and feeling like this postgame.
Congratulations to the Ravens, man. They were the better group today. That was obvious. And really, the X factor was Lamar's unique talents. It seems like every time we got him behind the sticks, he made up for it, or we got him in a possession down circumstance. He extended and won those circumstances, and we never really found a fluid answer all day. Obviously, that was highlighted by our inability to convert third downs in the first half, and they wore us down a little bit. The fatigue component of it became a factor. And so, you can sum it all up to say that they were certainly the better group today.
Yes, they were. And they advanced on to the divisional round and, of course, lost in Buffalo in heartbreaking fashion. But what can we learn? What can we take away? What can we look back on in that wild card round win? Apparently, I'm just not going to be speaking English today, which is entirely frustrating. But help me through it as best you can. Lamar was exceptional that night. 16 of 21 in the passing game, 175 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked once. He finished with a quarterback rating of 132, chipped in 15 carries, 81 yards on the ground, including a long of 20. That averaged out to 5.4 per tote. Derrick Henry went nuts, 26 carries, 186 yards, 2 touchdowns, a long of 44. It was pretty obvious that the Steelers had very little answers for what the Ravens were doing on the ground. 299 total yards. That was the final rushing yards category for the Ravens. And as a result, they dominated Pittsburgh in the time of possession game. Over 19-minute difference. Russell Wilson, yes, was starting under center for Pittsburgh that night. He wasn't terrible. His final stat line was clean. He was 20 of 29, 2 touchdowns. Quarterback rating of 121.3. They only put up 29 rushing yards, but they just couldn't get the Ravens off the field because of what Baltimore was doing on the ground. And if you can take anything from that, granted, it was an offensive line that was playing at much more of a consistent elite level a year ago than it is right now. I get that. But I don't think Pittsburgh's going to be in a position, if I'm a betting man, where they're going to do whatever it takes to not get embarrassed the way they were a week ago on their home turf against Buffalo, who was without both starting tackles and still was able to put 249 rushing yards on Pittsburgh. That's pretty embarrassing for a Steelers defense that was once vaunted and obviously a prideful group with a future Hall of Famer that leads the way in TJ Watt. So I'm going to be looking at a bunch of different things in terms of the game within the game and some of the trends, some of the numbers, some of the analytics, and most importantly, where I feel like the Ravens can attack Pittsburgh's defense. And for me, it begins over the middle third of the field. That's where the Steelers really struggle. They struggle to stay on assignment. They struggle to keep the ball in front of them. They struggle to get off the field. They're giving up over 22% of the time. They're allowing it for explosive passes in that middle, in that part, over the middle third of the field. That's where they struggle mightily. Now, on top of that, there will be no Derek Harmon. He's their talented rookie, a run stuffer specialist, their first rounder. He continues to be absent for them due to injury. Now, as you just saw, probably before you came on, maybe a push alert from the Ravens productions team account. Pretty darn clean billing of health for the Ravens going into this weekend. And that's the way it should be coming off a mini bye. The only two players that were ruled out definitively is Tavius Robinson and Ardarius Washington. And their 3-week practice windows from their respective injuries just began. So I wouldn't expect them anytime soon. Rashad Bateman's good to go with that high ankle sprain, the aftermath of the high ankle sprain. Lamar, most importantly, is good to go after being a DNP on Thursday. We'll get to him in just a second here. Travis Jones, his absence was non-injury related, as you see, which is great. Ronnie Stanley, also NIR, non-injury related. Both vets getting a day of rest on a Friday leading into a clash that is AFC North football. Devontae Walker with a groin, good to go. Same thing with Nate Wiggins. And I think the most encouraging part of this injury report is Lamar and Nate Wiggins. I don't know how far from 100% they'll be physically. For Nate, it's a foot. For Lamar, it's an ankle. And why don't we start there? Because Ian Rappaport let us know how the ankle ended up being a thing in the first place earlier today on NFL Network.
No, welcome back, our NFL Network insider. Welcome back, our NFL Network insider, of course, Ian. Jahmyr Gibbs had another 3-touchdown game tonight.
I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead to the Lamar portion of it, which begins in just a second here. He's just a full update, so I'm not going to make you listen to everything that's not Lamar related, but Lamar is right after Jaden Daniels, so I'm going to go ahead and unmute this now.
Is he is trending toward being cleared and playing Sunday. And Lamar Jackson didn't practice today. Another day of practice missed. This time an ankle injury. No worries, though. Got stepped on during practice yesterday. Should be good to go.
All right, so that was what we learned of first from Ian, that Lamar was stepped on. Now, if you go back to the summer, we learned that he too was stepped on then. We don't know by who. You know, I'm having fun with a little Friday poll. If you'd like to guess which player stepped on Lamar, he was asked that specifically, point blank, during his press conference.
Stepped on in practice?
Yeah, I did. Wednesday, I did. Yeah, Wednesday, I did. Yeah.
You want to name any names?
Of who stepped on me?
Yeah, who stepped people?
Nah, man. But that supposed to be on the other side. Why would I want to check? That's crazy.
Of course, he's not going to let anybody, he ain't going to reveal that. He's going to keep that player anonymous. This footage is courtesy of AJ Gersh from Fox 45. So again, it's going to be a guessing game if you want to get down to the bottom of who it was. But here he is. They practiced indoors earlier this afternoon. There's Ozzie. Maryland got a light dusting, right? From what I know, from what I've seen online. The first snow dusting of the season. There's Big Ben Cleveland. Where are you at, Rave Kingdom? But anyway, there he is. Doesn't appear to be heavily taped, but then again, I can't imagine, even though he was a full participant, Friday practices at this point in December, the work's been done. Install day's over. And the hefty part of the week is in the rear view. So we're just going to have to wait and see in terms of the tape job that may or may not be there and where Lamar's mobility is, where the limitations potentially lie coming up on Sunday at the bank. It is a 1:00 game. Todd Monken shared this earlier this week.
A lot of credit. He's battling each week, trying to get healthy enough to be able to play every Sunday. I mean, that's what I see out of him. I see a guy that's battling little nagging injuries, things that are stopping him from being able to get out there every day and practice. So again, that's what I see. I see a guy battling.
He's battling all right, and he's going to have to continue to do exactly that. If they want to win this division, a lot of playoff leverage hanging in the balance coming up on Sunday. With a Ravens win, their chances of making the postseason skyrockets to over 70%. If they don't win, plummets to under 25%. So there is a lot riding, whether it's from an analytical-based discussion or just straight up a way of putting yourself in a position where there is some margin for error down this stretch, which includes 3 AFC North games in the final 5 weeks, 2 of which are the Steelers. The other, of course, Cincinnati at their place. And then the other 2, Green Bay and New England, 2 teams that are playing at a high level. As far as Pittsburgh is concerned, again, no Derek Harmon. That's not a surprise. We learned of that earlier this week. No Kyle Duggar. Talented safety for them is dealing with a hand injury. He was a DNP Thursday and Friday and has been ruled out. So 2 key pieces to Pittsburgh's defense, which obviously comes in struggling, have been ruled out, along with offensive lineman Calvin Anderson. So Ravens are probably in better shape health-wise overall, but that's a big deal. 2 different pieces of the Steelers' defense will not be available and at their disposal coming up on Sunday. Richard says, to be honest, the whole offensive line did it with how bad they've been. That's one way of looking at it. And let's get an early look at the poll. Why am I not surprised? As we approach 100 votes, 82% of you think it was 77. And by the way, the other options for those of you in the audio space, 72, Andrew Voorhees, 70, Rosengarten, or, because I only had 4 options, name your guy, name your player. Who's it going to be? We're never going to get down to the bottom of it. And quite frankly, it doesn't really matter. Bottom line is, can Lamar play? Well, as he's shown in recent weeks, yeah, he can play, but he's going to be laboring at times. He's going to be limited at times. And as we've seen in recent weeks, he's also going to be unpolished at times when it comes to throwing the football, an area that I think is going to be the key to this game against the Steelers. From an offensive standpoint, on the Pittsburgh side of things, this is a group that has not challenged downfield, has not attacked vertically in weeks. A lot of that has to do with Aaron Rodgers. A lot of that has to do with the lack of weapons around Aaron Rodgers. He's dealing with a left wrist fracture of some sort, which hasn't even allowed him in recent weeks to take snaps under center. So that's obviously a problem for them. They don't stretch the field. They don't attack you vertically. Over 70% of their passes, guys, land within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. So they don't scare you on paper. Now, just because over 70% of Aaron Rodgers' passes land within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage doesn't mean that you can't create positive yardage plays out of those, particularly if a Ravens defense shows up with sloppy angles of pursuit and a lack of polish when it comes to tackling. We've seen that at times this year, which has gashed them. That can't happen. On the defensive side of Pittsburgh, they really struggle to defend the middle third of the field. Over 22% of the time, they're allowing explosive passes. That's over the middle third of the field. What do I mean by that? If you're Lamar, attack these guys through the air with Zay Flowers across the middle, the tight end games. Hopefully Rashad Bateman will be effectively running slants, creating separation, and bringing a reliable pair of hands to this game. Guys, I think we know that you cannot afford, if you're either one of these teams, but from a Ravens perspective, you cannot afford to turn over the football. The Steelers are the 5th ranked team in turnover margin. 5th. And the insane statistic is timeliness in their wins. They have gotten timely takeaways in their 6 wins. A plus 15 turnover differential in 6 wins. They come in 6-6, just like the Ravens do. And then on the flip side, in their 6 losses, where do you think they are in turnover differential? -6. So it's not rocket science trying to figure out how Pittsburgh has done what it's done in their wins and what's went wrong in their losses. Marlon Humphrey earlier this week.
How you play will speak way louder than your words, and I think if you can't get up for this one, you know, every game you play in the NFL is very meaningful, but if you can't get up for this one, I think that shows something about your character. I think that shows something about your will. And honestly, I think that just shows if you are a Raven or you're not a Raven. I think how we come out this game, how we prepare this week, will kind of do echoes not only for this game, but for the rest of the season, because we're basically in playoff football right now. So it's kind of, you know, it is, you know, they say there's no game, a must-win game. This is definitely a must-win game. We have not played great complimentary football really all year. And it's time. We worked really hard to get to where we are. Yeah, do we like our record? No, but do we have everything in front of us? Yes. So I think, like I said, man, it's time to show it. We've talked all throughout the years. I've made bad plays. Everyone's made bad plays. Everyone made some good plays. But now it's time. Come together. Have your brother's back. Make sure your brother knows what he's doing, so we can go out here, be on the same page, execute. Because I think we're too good of a team on paper. I know that's been said and everything, but now it's time to be a good team on Sunday, Monday, whatever day we're playing at 1 o'clock.
Closing 5-week stretch. Good sentiment there from Marlon Humphrey, longest tenured defensive Raven. Said a few different things there, none bigger than the fact that this is a must-win game in his mind. I think we can all agree when you take a look at what it means in the AFC North and the fact that the clearest, most concise, most clear-cut path to the postseason is winning the division. The AFC is stacked. It is balanced. It is wide open, but it is very competitive. And if you're the Ravens, you want to have a chance to still host a wild card game, wild card weekend. And based on where things stand right now, there is no, in some of the analytical simulations that I've seen, there's no greater likely outcome right now through 13 weeks than a Ravens hosting the Bills wild card rematch, which would be a rematch of the divisional round. But that's what they're calling for right now. And if the Ravens win their division, they're going to be in the driver's seat to host a home playoff wildcard game. And if you told me that a month ago, I would have called you crazy. Absolutely crazy. Here's where the Ravens offense ranks overall right now entering week 14. This is without, 2.5, 3.5 games with Lamar under center. So keep that in mind. But overall, through 12 games, it's the 20th overall ranked group. 317.3 yards of total offense per game. They're 5th on the ground still with 136.8 rushing yards per game. They're 28th through the air, 180.5. They're the 12th ranked scoring offense at 24.1 per game. They're 20th on third down, 37.6% of the time they're moving the chains. They're 17th on fourth down. And still, can I get a woof? 30th league-wide in the red zone in terms of touchdown percentage. So less than 50% of the time they're cashing in when inside the 20. 46.5 to be exact. Defensively, clawing, scratching, doing whatever they can to dig themselves out of the hole that they created the first 5 weeks. They're the 26th ranked group overall. 18th against the run, 25th against the pass, 21st in scoring, 10th on third down, 18th on fourth down, and 6th in the red zone. As far as Pittsburgh's concerned, offensively, it's the 27th ranked group overall. They're 28th in the ground game, 24th in the passing game, 15th in scoring, 14th on third down, 29th on fourth, and 5th in the red zone. Defensively, 28th ranked overall group. I mean, this is ugly. 17th against the run, 28th against the pass, 20th in scoring, 28th on third down, 30th on fourth down, and 10th in terms of defending inside the red zone. perhaps this is why Brooke Pryor came on our show earlier this week and let us know that she feels like this is worthy of being represented as the mid-off. The mid-off. Richard says, I honestly can't take Marlon seriously. He clowns too much. He's been podcasting a lot, pretty consistently. I know a lot of you guys cannot get past that fact. But he's also created and been a big part, not created, but he's been a big part of the Ravens' turnover culture throughout his tenure. And that's something that Mike Tomlin commented on during his press conference leading into the week.
Little guy, obviously worth mentioning, is Marlon Humphreys, man. He plays outside when Kyle Hamilton plays nickel. When Kyle Hamilton moves to dime linebacker, he plays inside. He's a very versatile guy, man. He's the poster boy for their turnover culture. I think he's got 17 career forced fumbles and counting now. And so ball security is going to be a major component of it. We got to be really fundamentally sound there. Again, he leads that charge. But again, wouldn't be remiss if I didn't mention Malachi Starks, man, their first rounder. He's a center fielder, man, and is doing a really good job patrolling that area of the field. And particularly of late, as I mentioned, with that acquisition, and they're able to solidify some divisional labor. He's been a mainstay in the middle of the field for him and doing a nice job of solidifying that space.
High praise there for Malachi Starks. High praise for Marlon Humphrey. Look, this is a Steelers team that is coming in really in dire straits and yet has a chance to play for the division lead through 14 weeks. I wouldn't say the Ravens are in dire straits, but from a Ravens standard in December to be playing like this, particularly offensively, that might be categorized as being dire straits. But from a Pittsburgh standpoint, you take out that wild card domination that the Ravens put forward, they've played Lamar really tough over the years. I'm not sure anybody's played him tougher than Kansas City. But I think Pittsburgh and Cleveland, led by Pittsburgh, I'm giving Pittsburgh the edge over Cleveland, have played him just below Kansas City in terms of toughness. 4 of Lamar's 10 lowest passer ratings as a starter have come against the Steelers. And in the regular season, he is sub 500 when facing Pittsburgh. 2-4. 3-5 in the postseason. 2-4 against Pittsburgh in the regular season. 3-5. What I mean by that is overall as a postseason starter. So I don't know how much that factors into the entire equation. But the reality is this has been one of Lamar's kryptonites, if you will, that he was able to certainly quiet everybody down noise-wise in what was a hell of a dominating performance in that wild card round when the Ravens smacked them last January. I think 28-14 was the final. Yeah, 28-14. Taking your predictions, if you'd like to call in and share a thought with me, give me your score prediction. Week 14, Ravens Steelers. Somebody's in the live chat right now without their camera on. So throw that on if you want to join me. And vote in the poll. Let's get an update. Over 100 votes and counting. And 83% of you, still a hefty percentage of you, think it was Daniel Fa'alele that stepped on Lamar. Again, if you're just tuning in, Lamar was asked point blank.
Stepped on in practice?
Yeah, I did. Wednesday, I did. Yeah, Wednesday, I did. Yeah.
You want to name any names?
Of who stepped on me?
Yeah, who stepped people?
Nah, man. But that must be on the outside. Why would I want to check? That's crazy.
A lot of credit. He's battling each week, trying to get healthy enough to be able to play every Sunday. I mean, that's what I see out of him. I see a guy that's battling, little nagging injuries, things that are stopping him from being able to get out there every day and practice. So again, that's what I see. I see a guy battling.
He's battling all right, and here's some footage from AJ Gersh, Fox 45, that I was showing earlier on in the stream. Nothing that's overly indicative of where he's at physically. But again, man, Thanksgiving night, it didn't scream to me that there were too many limitations physically, meaning with some of the lower body ailments. I think we all know it was more about the operation. It was more about the mechanics. It was more about the polish or lack thereof. It was more about the inaccuracy. It was more about the lack of command at the line of scrimmage, some misreads, right? Things that typically are givens and guarantees when it comes to Lamar. Troy Springs has the Ravens winning 23-16. Major Media is in the live chat. Evan's calling him out to call in for once, and he won't, which is a total bummer. I don't know why, Major, especially after Bentley stood up, didn't he? My man stood up tall earlier this week and came on. We had a great conversation. Frank has 24-17 Ravens out there. You guys heard me earlier today on the vault. I got 24-18 Ravens. I think each team will turn the football over at least once. And I think that this is going to be a classic Ravens-Steelers imperfect watch, ugly watch that comes down to who plays the cleanest fourth quarter, who makes the timely play, whose special teams unit is more impactful, who runs the football effectively in crunch time. But again, more importantly, most importantly, whose ball security is more elite. This marks the 59th regular season matchup all time between the Ravens and Steelers. Of the last 38 meetings of those 59, 38 of those meetings, 28 have been decided by one score, and 19 of those one-score games were by 3 or fewer points. That was not the case in the wild card round whatsoever. I think it could be. I got it less than, excuse me, as I just burp into the microphone, excuse me. Evans got them winning 27-14, so 1 point off from what they were able to do in January. Wes says 77-0. 77-0. Love that one. Kieran says 23-20 Ravens. FCC caw F caw F as Tilly decides to just ruin a stream that has already been a disaster because of my lack of pronunciation and brain mush on a Friday afternoon. But F caw says, Tilly T, let's go. Shape up. I forgot to close the gosh darn blinds. F caw says, what do you recommend LJ do, Bobby? With what? He's busting his ass. He's battling. I don't have any recommendations for the guy. I'm just calling it like it is, man. Hasn't been good enough in recent months. The most significant rut of his career. Uncomfortable, inaccurate, unwilling at times. That wasn't the case Thanksgiving night. I actually thought he showed some burst. Not only willing, but able, which was really, really encouraging from a health perspective. So, no, I don't have any recommendations for him. I'm just observing what's been a really challenging, trying season for him physically that's now leaked into the operation, the mechanics, the polish, the consistency. Missing layups. Like, that's unheard of for Lamar. Major and Evan are sparring right now in the live chat. For once, it's not me and someone else, which is shocking. So how about you two both come on and I'll mediate it? How about that? It's a Friday afternoon. We've covered the majority of content this week. I'll throw myself in the middle screen as the mediator. Evan will be to my right and Major will be to my left. Let's run that shit up. Come on. But matter of fact, Major, if I'm calling a spade, this isn't about Evan. This is about you not coming on, standing tall. Come on, man. I've wanted you on this show for weeks now. Like, why aren't we doing that? Isaiah Likely talked about Mark Andrews' contract extension for the first time earlier this week.
I'm gassed. I mean, I was one to text him, telling him, like, big bro, I love you, proud of you, keep going. We got more work to do this year.
Obviously, you and Charlie also in a contract year as well. How does this extension maybe impact your future, do you think?
I just watched my brother get paid. So, I just see joy. Just living in the moment, knowing that, you got everything in front of us, try to win the Super Bowl this year, one game at a time, one opponent at a time, and knowing that, I let the rest take care of itself.
All right. I hope for Isaiah's sake that the rest does take care of itself. He finishes the year strong, gets back to what he's shown us in recent years, gets back healthy, and gets paid in free agency. It's not going to be in Baltimore, I don't think. There's a lot of tight end needy teams out there, and I'm sure there's a lot of offensive coordinators that are savoring the opportunity or foaming at the mouth, thinking about the chance to get their hands on Isaiah with the measurables as a tight end, but the ability as a pass-catching wide receiver. I think this is it for him in a Ravens uniform. Bazooka Dan says, Bobby, who wins the division if the Ravens beat the Steelers twice, but lose to the Bengals twice? Oh, God. Who wins the division if the Ravens beat the Steelers twice, but lose to the Bengals twice? Well, that'll depend on... That'll ultimately depend on what the three teams do in the closing 5 weeks outside of AFC North play, right? I'm processing that because that's a hell of a scenario. So they're 6-6 right now. And if you give them 2 more losses, at best they'd be 9-8, but then that's assuming shit. Yeah. That's assuming that they would then sweep their non-divisional games, which I don't think that's a guarantee. I don't think that's a guarantee at all. Red says, I think they'll split with the Squealers. No way they're winning both games. I would agree with that. But to be honest with you, as I think about this, obviously you guys can tell I'm processing right now because this scenario has got me thinking. But Red, in response to you, I think it's actually more likely that the Ravens get swept by Cincinnati and they sweep Pittsburgh. If I'm a betting man, I feel comfortable about the chances of that happening. Because remember, Cincinnati has to play playoff football for the foreseeable future. Have been playing postseason football. Their backs are against the wall. There's absolutely zero margin for error. Joe Burrow's back. T. Higgins was just cleared for concussion protocol. Game of the weekend is Bengals-Bills. And they got to have it. So for the Ravens, I think they're going to find a way to win on Sunday. Okay? I already predict. That's my prediction. And knowing that you then go to Cincinnati on top of coming out of Steelers week, that sets up for a challenge. So to be honest, the more and more I think about this, I could get on board for the Ravens sweeping Pittsburgh and getting swept by Cincinnati. I don't think that's an unrealistic vision. What do you guys think? That's where I'm at. Better not play like the Cowboys is in the waiting room without his camera on. If he turns that camera on, we'll get him on the show. but I'm not seeing a camera. Oh, I'm seeing a camera now. I wonder who it is. Show your gosh darn face. It's probably fucking Chef or something. Oh, I know who it is. It's Mr. Running Mate, Mr. Wingman. Evan, game of the weekend. Game of the weekend from an entertainment purpose. Bills Bengals. Right, Evan? Game of the weekend. 77 Figures says, Bobby, you on drugs if you think Cincinnati beats Buffalo. It's not happening. All right. Guess we'll see, won't we? 77. Kind of drugs you got over there, too. It's a Friday afternoon. I'm all ears. Yes, Nate Wiggins is playing. Nate Wiggins and Lamar Jackson are playing. Nate was a surprise. I mean, they ruled him out immediately. Damn near immediately. At halftime, Thanksgiving night. So for him to at least get back out there and give it a shot, that'll play. Yeah, there's going to be plenty of entertainment. There's going to be plenty of entertainment. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, most storied rivalry of all time, you could argue. But is it going to be fun to watch? Depends on what your definition of fun is when it comes to football. Richard, welcome to the program, brother. Happy Friday. What's going on?
What's up, Bobby? I'm surprised that someone said that the Bengals have no shot against the Bills. If there's any year where there's been parity, it's this year. I don't think you can predict who the hell predicted the Chicago Bears would be the number 1 seed in the NFC, for example.
Yeah, and
or that the
Ravens better wins this year.
or that the Carolina Panthers looks like a competent team. You know, it's been an interesting year. So I would say anything kind of goes until it doesn't go this year.
Not to mention, Cincinnati's actually played formidable defense now for 3 straight weeks. So, I mean, something's got to give here. They know their back's against the wall. They know they want to keep this thing interesting down the stretch. They know they have to win out. And I'm sorry, Buffalo is the most beatable it's ever been. Now, unfortunately, the Ravens are the most beatable they've ever been in the Lamar era right now, which, again, speaks to what you're saying. It is wide the hell open.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. I mean, for this game, I mean, against the Steelers, I don't know. I would say it's going to be an ugly-ass game. If I was a betting man, I'm not a betting man. But if I was, it would be 2 turnovers for each team.
Yeah.
It's going to be, my score prediction is going to be 19-15. It's going to be horrendous. So I think we're going to win, but I think it's going to be horrendous.
That is such a Ravens Steelers score. I was trying to tell Sarah earlier, I do think that both teams are going to have at least 1 turnover. Like, it would not surprise me at all.
No, it's going to be 2, and I think it's going to be multi-sacks on both sides of the ball. I don't see this. I don't think the O-line's fixed itself. I mean, we still have Daniel Falafel on the one side of the field, so you're kind of screwed there. I mean, I think Emory Jones looks a lot better, but I mean, they need to increase his snaps. With what Harv's is saying, calling him a rookie, I don't know if that's actually going to be the case. It's about fucking time to get rid of Harv's, to be honest with you, man. I'm tired of it. I mean, my goal and the reason why I've been, kind of not gung-ho about the season is that my expectation is that we're either going to miss the playoffs or we're going to be 1 or 2 done. And we're going to, regardless of whatever the hell happens, we're going to keep Harbs and we're going to draft another fucking DB. So,
when are they going to start building their team from the inside out?
When EDC admits that he should be listening to the Ozzy, which I don't know if that's going to happen. Because Ozzy built it from the inside out, which is the way conventional wisdom has said that you should be building teams. And for some reason, the Ravens love to pretend that they're smarter than every other team in the NFL. And so they zag when every other team zigs. And maybe for a time that worked, but I mean, it's proving that, I mean, conventional wisdom is conventional wisdom for a reason. But they don't want to listen to it.
Inside out is how Philadelphia has built its Super Bowl team.
I mean, that's
it's
how Tampa beat KC. That's how Philly beat KC. That's how the Rams beat the Bengals. I mean, it's been so many damn Super Bowls where it's been proven, and yet, for some reason, the front office don't seem to understand that. I mean, I'm just a guy on the end of the bar, but at the end of the day, I'm like, shit. If I can see it, why can't they?
You think Dallas's front office has second thoughts today about paying Pickens, or potentially in the future paying Pickens?
Maybe not number one wide receiver money, but he is still better than CeeDee Lamb. I'll tell you that.
Pickens is filthy when he wants to be. I think, as we
Yeah,
all watched
he's
last
still
night.
better than CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb drops the ball worse than anyone that's on our team, including Mandrews.
Well, hopefully he's okay, because that was a scary moment there in the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, my best friend's a Dallas fan, so I know very well about that team.
Yeah. Well, how about this shit right here? I'm pulling this up. This is hysterical. Pickens is just, these are the antics that Pittsburgh said, we're all good. He's got the most talent that you'll see at that position. But then you got to deal with bullshit like this. I'll go ahead and big screen it. Give me a second here. Richard Sherman ripped his ass on the post-game show.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
So Pickens gets up there on Instagram and says, and by the way, look at his handle. One issue. Yeah, it's one way of putting it. He said, this is a game. This is a team game, LMAO. I'm not the only one on the team. Stop becoming an analyst and talking about one player when he's playing a team's game. Lots of shit has to go right for explosive plays. And it's funny because I thought former players would know that. Richard Pussy Ass Sherman, who, by the way, ain't shit without the Legion of Boom, which is just an insane take. We all remember San Francisco, brother. Much love. Don't speak on me unless you know the game of football. As a former player, not a dick-riding fan analyst that acts like double team is not a thing or certain bracket coverages don't exist. Knowing you played ball, which showed me you a leech, weirdo. Now Twitter going to eat this up. Oh, God.
I am here for it. That shit is entertaining. That's funny.
This is objectively hilarious and objectively ridiculous.
I mean, I was never a fan of Richard Sherman. I mean, I always thought he was a little bit overrated, but to say that, holy shit. That's fucking wild. That's hilarious, especially after the game that he had yesterday.
Teacher, this is George Pickens, who mailed it in on a couple routes yesterday, and clearly,
man, he gave up. He gave up more off. He gave up more often than Bateman gives up on a route.
Ooh.
Like that for him to say some shit after the end of that performance, that's hilarious. That's great.
Right?
I'm here for it. It's not my team.
Oh my God. Right. If you love the guy, if he's suiting up for your group, you guys might be wondering what the hell Richard Sherman said to get this response. George Pickens throughout the game, especially late in the game, looked uninterested in playing football. If you want to be the best receiver in the NFL, you can't ever be disengaged. You can't be the guy and you half-ass it. You're looking to pay him big-time receiver money, $40 million. You got to look at this tape and say, hey, this is a guy we can trust to pay $40 million regardless of circumstance. I don't know. Hard not to agree with Richard Sherman based on watching everything that took place in Pittsburgh. And now, unfortunately for Pickens, has brought himself in some of those antics to the big D. Brother, great catching up with you, man.
Oh, one thing. You need to talk about how your date yesterday went.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a little bit at the end of the vault, but look, it's exhausting, man. Dating's exhausting. It really is. It's just
so I guess it didn't go well.
No, it's fine. I just question the sincerity of it a little bit. I'll read you what I wrote to everybody else. It's just, you can hear it in my voice. I'm just exhausted. Okay, Buddy says, was hoping for more of a review on last night's date. So I wrote him, I said, very attractive, training for a Switzerland marathon this summer, has a dog, close with family, new to St. Pete, originally from the Atlanta suburbs. Conversation flowed throughout. New paragraph. Barely touched her dinner, didn't ask for takeout. A touch of ditzy? Question mark. Can't tell yet. No follow-up text afterwards, but said thank you and how much she enjoyed it a couple times. May have been spoiled growing up. Has an advent calendar for her dog.
You know how to pick them, man. Holy shit. I met some people I've dated who were, there was nothing going on between both of their earlobes, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I get that. I get that.
I don't know. I shouldn't sit here and say that it was the worst. It was fine. It's just,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, she may not have just liked the food. I mean, there's that part of it too. That could always be the case. I mean, I was, one thing that I could say based on my own experiences recently is definitely you almost gotta not have your hopes up. And I'm not saying that to be like defeatist or nihilistic, but it's like in talking to a lot of people, I've been told that I have unrealistic expectations. And so maybe, what we think is the normal is not, or maybe not anymore. So I would say, just go in with an open mind. Not every single girl that you're going to meet is going to be the future Mrs. Trosset.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. But as you know, I got high expectations. And in season, I want to make sure those expectations are met, meaning the time that I am willing to divvy up to this topic, like I want to make sure that shit's going well and it was worth my time. I'm not saying it wasn't worth my time last night, but it was 3 hours. So you think something's going well, and maybe it is or isn't, but there hasn't been a whole lot of dialogue today leading you to believe that, it's not exactly what you think it is. So,
well, I would say, just look at it as a blessing.
Good seeing you, man. I'll catch
Bye,
up
man.
Later, as I just unload every aspect of what went on last night. I kept it buttoned up on the vault, didn't I? Then I end up just becoming an open book in this shit. Sorry, we didn't even talk about Ravens football the last couple of minutes. Maybe Johnny will get us back on track. Back-to-back days, he says, I'm dialing up the vault. What's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Happy Friday.
What's up, man? Happy Friday, brother. Yeah, actually, I'm more interested in the date, but we can talk about football. But actually, I was going to say this yesterday. I think the Ravens might sign both Andrews and Likely. This is just me personally.
Ooh.
And I think they might let my man Zay walk. That's what I'm trying to visualize. Because at the end of the day, it's like I saw a stat the other day. They said Zay had 10 touchdowns in 47 games? And I'm like, is he really a number one? I know he's a real nice, cool guy, and he's shifty and all that, but at the end of the day, we need some power, firepower on the outside. Bob, let me ask you a question. What do you think about the defense, physicality wise?
I think it's lacking.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's from a physicality. I think it's lacking from a Ravens standard standpoint. Yeah, I think it's lacking. For whatever reason, they don't have a lot of thumpers. Now, I'm not questioning anybody's character. I'm not questioning anybody's commitment. I'm not questioning anybody's, will and resilience and all that. But when you stack it up against the Ravens standard,
exactly,
I think it's lacking.
So that's where I'm coming from with just with the arm tackles, with the low tackles. I just believe. I hope Rowe could turn it around. I think Rowe and Hamilton, man. I love both the players, but at the end of the day, every big game, they don't show up. They literally don't. So I'm trying to figure out where's the true dogs at, and
I think those two are two of them, no question. Kyle and Roquan are two of them. Outside of that, I'm really not sitting here very confident that the pass rush won't disappear in the closing month. I think it will.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have to counter that with timely turnovers, and obviously stout defense on level 2 and level 3.
Yeah.
And with Nate dealing with the foot,
exactly.
and Marlon obviously having his struggles in coverage at times this year, particularly against Cincinnati, which I suspect will be a problem with T. Higgins coming back next weekend.
Jesus.
That's going to put level 2 and level 3 in a difficult position.
Exactly.
And I love Draymond. I do. I think he's been a great fit. Good for them for acquiring him. I hope he gets paid at some point. And damn,
we need a different maker though. We need a difference maker.
Yeah, they don't have one.
So I'm like, where's Clowney right now?
He's in Dallas.
Isn't he doing good right now?
Jadeveon's shown some pop. I think I'm not watching every down, but I think he's shown some pop since becoming a Cowboy. Yeah.
So see that's the frustrating thing with the Ravens. It's like you have literally he had 9 sacks, 10 sacks with us. Why trade him? Why keep Benoit? Well, I don't know. Bobby, look, I got a lot of questions. I appreciate you. I love your show, bro. I watch both shows every day. Literally, the only shows I watch. I don't watch nothing else, man.
You're the man.
You do your thing, man.
You're the man, Johnny. I got one more thing for you on the Zay nugget because we kind of glossed over that to get to the next topic. I would urge you not to put him in a box on evaluating him based on touchdowns. Okay. Zay has been, to me, a much greater presence and a more versatile playmaker than, say, Marquise Hollywood Brown.
Oh, he's way better than Hollywood.
And it's not to drag Marquise. It's not to, demean the guy at all. I think they have similar measurables, very different skill set, very different play style. And so while Zay hasn't been the touchdown machine that you want a 1 or 2 to be, I think Zay's vertical threat, the shiftiness, his willingness to block and block well in recent weeks.
Okay, yeah, now you're making sense. Now
you're
getting me over.
Dude, Johnny, that yak ability, he wants to run through you, not around you. And he ain't running out of bounds either. He's going to run through you. My prediction, and I think Sarah and I are in agreement on this, is that he will be one of the first Ravens homegrown paid wide receivers. Now, a lot of that's going to have to be a willingness to probably not get anywhere near market resetting money. But if he wants to win and he wants to extend his career with Lamar,
see, but my thing is they saying it's either Zay, 98 or Tyler or Tyler. They saying either them 3. So, but I'm like, I'd rather have Tyler and 98. That's just me.
Oh, shit. Now you got me playing the comparison game. All right. Well, first of all, they got to get Lamar's deal done, first and foremost.
It's done, I think.
You got to get Lamar's deal done and then make this a lot less complicated. But if I were to prioritize those 3 players, oof, man. Gosh. I think I got to put Travis Jones first. I got to put 98 first, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's only who else we got? Who else we got that can just throw a grown man 5 yards out the way?
You're looking at it. Yeah, it's a player that does not get anywhere near the amount of attention that he should. And what I mean by that is attention from the fan base. 98 gets plenty of attention from the opposing offense. They're doubling the shit out of him. They're taking him out of games as much as they can. And with no Nnamdi, we don't talk about it enough because we just talk about the loss of 92, 92. But 98's in there mixing it up year after year.
Yeah. Yeah, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, have a great weekend, brother. We'll catch up with you on Sunday. Bro. Guest lines are open if you'd like to share a thought, like Mr. Johnny Williams, not to be confused with Johnny Walker. Mr. Manny, Mr. Julian. Shit, I thought we were going to just end this stream early, and now we're coming up on an hour. Good God. What's going on, brother?
Hey, I had to pop in here, Bobby. I saw you was online. I was like, okay, let me see what he's talking about. What's going on?
What you got for me?
So I didn't see the injury report. I can't really see it too well. So um, looks like everybody is good. Looks like everybody's good.
Oh, you can't see it. Yeah. It's the Tavius and Ardarius are out, which is no surprise.
Yeah.
Everybody else is good to go.
Yeah, I figured that would be the case of those two. They probably need like another week of practice.
Yeah.
Maybe the Cincy game would be the target.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured that would be the case, but that it's just how Darius fought back from this injury, which was really bad. 9 times out of 10, those guys don't really come back, and he came back, and within the time frame which we needed him now, and that's amazing to me.
Yeah,
Um,
he's just guy's an absolute
he's a
menace.
warrior. Yeah, he's a
Both.
damn warrior. And
And by the way, for those that have been following along, Kyle Duggar is out. So Steelers safety is out. It's a big deal. No Derek Harmon. They're missing a couple key pieces on their side of things.
Man, it just gets worse for them. With anything about Patrick Queen, is he gonna? I mean, number 6 from the Steelers. I can't.
PQ's playing. Yep, PQ's playing.
I'm gonna call him number 6 from the Steelers. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying his name.
I got you.
That is dope. But
I got you, brother.
so he's playing. Okay, all right,
Yep.
fine. He's not going to be 100% either.
Yep.
And the rookie Hammond, he's going to be out too. Their first round pick.
Derek
Yeah.
Harmon and
Derek Harmon.
Duggar are both out. Yep.
That's it's going to be bad for them.
Yep.
Well, how I see this game going, like I said, it could go either way. Honestly, because I don't trust our team either, but I think they can put it together and manage to get this win. It's not going to be easy. I believe it's going to go to overtime.
Sure.
That's the feeling I'm getting
Okay.
because of how these two teams have been playing. It's probably low scoring, obviously, like mid low 20s, maybe 2017, late field goal, something like that in overtime.
Yeah.
Uh, and none of this works if they don't stick to running the football, which they keep forgetting every single time. It just seems like every time we play like an elite quarterback or like a big game, like let's say for instance the Chiefs game from the championship game or the Bills game early this year and in the playoffs. Uh, it's just so many other games that I've noticed when there's the games online, they're down maybe like 17 to like 3 or something, and they get to this panic mode and they feel like, oh, it's time to throw. It's time to have them throw like 40, 50 times a game, and that's not going to work. You're a running football team first, then you set up the pass. So I'm going to be interested to see what they do Sunday as far as running the football more. And I'm gonna be at the game anyway. So yeah.
Good, brother. Enjoy it, man. We'll catch up
I
soon.
will. All right, Bobby.
Later, Jewel. I'm sure a lot of people heading down to the bank, as will the entire 2000 Super Bowl team, including Femi. I'm sure Kadri will be out there. I'm not sure what his schedule is, but I know Femi's definitely going to be out there on the field. And Ray Lewis will be the legend of the game, of course. And J.O. will be the honorary captain. It's going to be a lot going on at the bank. 1 o'clock on Sunday. I'll be live pregame streaming at 11:30 or so when inactives come out. And then Sarah and I will be live on the vault at probably 5 o'clock or so. Something along those lines. Mr. Mexico, bring us home, baby. Bring us home. Bring us home.
All right. I think everybody knows right now. Lamar knows, but he won't tell who step on him because, criticism and calling a certain person's name. But,
mob. He doesn't want the mob going after 77.
I mean, it's the festivities, so fa la 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 la.
Happy holidays. Over 200 votes. Who stepped on
Yeah.
Lamar? 80% of you think it was 77.
I mean, it's obvious. Like you try to keep it a secret when you know that at the beginning of the year he was not up to par. Like you could clearly see it.
Yeah.
So on regards to that, well, that's on Harbaugh's and on EDC not fixing the old line. Sunday, oof. If you don't run the ball, if Henry doesn't get 200 yards, I mean, it's easy for him to get 200 yards in this game. But if he doesn't get it,
easy.
I don't know who to blame.
What's easy about it?
Just give him the rock. He's 250. Like,
yeah, who's you running behind?
Pat Ricard. Just
Just
run
Pat?
left.
Just Pat, huh?
Just run left. Emery has showcased that he can push. Just run left.
Yeah, for the 10 snaps that Emery gets, that's going to work out well for him.
I mean, sure as hell it was a fucking improvement from Voorhees. Right side, we cannot run because Falala just, and then he lets the defender just go right past him. And that's a recipe for disaster for the QB, for the running backs, for anything. So just quick run left, and that's it. I mean, the big run that Keenan had, where it came from? The left side. And that was Emery.
Keaton's going to get about 5 snaps.
Hell, at this
because you
point,
can't pass block effectively.
At this point, you know what? I believe that Tess will just get 1 snap and just sit on the bench the rest of the game because horrible.
Mike thinks you're sipping on that Mexico tequila. What you sipping on over there, bad boy?
He'll know. I'll be there at the end of the year. I'm visiting family for the end of the year.
Well, hey, good. By the way, if they host a wild card game, I'm coming back. So just so that everybody knows, if they host a wild card game, we're going to be more around town, baby. Fuck it up.
All right, let's hit
Talk
it.
to you soon, brother. Have a great weekend.
All right, you too.
So 200 yards easy, huh? That tequila must be damn good. Be More Vince says, could it be that our offensive line is so bad that we can't consistently run the ball, especially without Lamar's run threats? Vince, thanks for the super chat, brother. It's a perfect storm as to why they're not running the ball effectively. It has to do with their poor guard play. It has to do with Lamar's immobility. It has to do, at times, with play calling. And all that and more, you put yourself in a position where you're going into a Steelers game where Pittsburgh will do and has effectively done in the past against you anything it possibly can to stop and limit your run. And they weren't able to do it in the wild card round. We all know that. I think they're going to do whatever is within their power to do exactly that coming up on Sunday. Dare Lamar in this passing attack to come alive, which it's capable of doing. He needs clean pockets as much as he possibly can get. He needs to be decisive with not only his reads, but his processing at the line of scrimmage, his protection assets, and most importantly, his decisiveness when it comes to checkdowns, hitting those open routes in the flat, the intermediate passing game, which I think is going to be the key and where Pittsburgh struggles the most over the middle third of the field. They've been susceptible to explosive plays there. So it's a little bit of everything, Vince. Richard says, the Peeps have a point. 77 is the most protected. It's definitely him. Richard is convinced that it was Daniel Fa'alele. EB, are you with us? Are you on the clock right now? Open that camera up, baby. We want to know how that movie night went a couple weeks ago, big guy. He's smiling. He's grinning ear to ear down there in the waiting room. Yes, he is. We want to know how that movie night went, bad boy. You going to tell us every nitty-gritty detail? Right, chat? Do we want to know? Yes, we do. What's up, brother, man? EB's in the house on a Friday.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Everybody wants to know how the date night went. Lord mercy. I came to talk about football, Bobby. You want to talk about a man's date night. All right, let me get to the nitty-gritty real
bad
quick.
boy. I know when the darkness falls, you come alive.
Yeah? Yeah? All right, getting to the nitty-gritty. The date night went swell. The movie was awesome. The energy, the vibes was awesome. Everything was clicking on all cylinders. We had a great night, and a future date is in play.
Bro, you are your connectivity is a little bit off right now.
Future date
I get the sense that things went well, which is great. So why don't we get down to what you called
Yeah.
about? We'll revisit that another time. What are you thinking going into week 14, baby?
Uh, I don't even know, Bobby. I mean, at this point, and you see how they threw Emery at left guard and not at the right guard. But at this point, I have no faith in our line. But if Lamar can get healthier than he is, I feel as though he can start masking those roles again.
I wouldn't count on that.
I need Monken to stick with the game plan. I run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. We are not a passing team. We are not the Chiefs.
Yeah, but bro, here's the problem though.
Yes.
Here's what I love you, but this drives me nuts because here's the problem. That all sounds great, right? And that's that's the Ravens history, that's the Ravens staple. But Todd, like we can't encourage Todd to do that when we've seen some of the limited ability that leads to a lackluster rushing attack in recent weeks. Like we can't just be like, hey, dial up the run game, baby. Like there's so many parts that are leading to a tall task in that department.
Well, I have a suggestion for that, Bobby. I don't know if it's a good one or not, but why not try to run the ball out of a 11 personnel set with 3 receivers on the field and pass out of the heavy, the more heavy option, where it's 12 personnel.
I think I got a better idea. Get back to reinvesting in your gosh darn offensive line this offseason.
Well, see, now I'm looking to EDC. He was supposed to then do that. You decided to draft a hurt tackle, convert it into a guard, and we just now seeing him. You bring back a guard and don't even put him on the field. I mean, I don't know what type of planning between him and John be having, but it in my opinion, both Emory and Cleveland should be on the damn field right now. I'm just keeping it all the way funky. You heard my numbers that I gave you last time. I mean, I refuse to believe that Cleveland is not serviceable. I just don't. I'm sorry. You're calling a spade for spade. I'm just. What's worse than what the hell we've already seen now? With the current offensive line scratching Jones, Lamar has what four different injuries. The ankle twice now, and then of course, la stepping on his ankle and shit in practice. He still don't know how to stay upright. I'm just. That's what I'm saying, Bobby. I'm kind of because we wasn't supposed to lose that Cincy game. Watching that Cincy game, it was like, what the hell am I looking at right now? Like,
We wouldn't be bitching about the offensive line if they didn't turn the ball over 5 times. If Isaiah got into the end zone, if that phantom OPI wasn't called, if Lamar's right hand.
Bobby, I'm still gonna bitch. Oh no, Bobby, I'm still gonna bitch either way. But you're right.
And I'd
when
be
you have
concerned
5 turnovers, you'll never win the game. You'll never win the game
if you weren't, and I feel like I'd be highly worried if you weren't bitching. So EB, you're the man. I'll catch up with you on Sunday, brother.
Definitely, Bobby.
Enjoy it. Movie night number 2 to come. You already know we're going to be taking a close look at that, won't we, EB? Yes, we will be. Hope you guys have a fantastic first half of your weekend. Stay safe. Enjoy the December weather wherever you are. I'm going out to an oyster bar tonight with my cousin, so we'll see what that brings. Like the video on your way out. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Consider becoming a channel member or gift-giving membership if you so choose. And I'll catch up with you, if not before then, Sunday, 11:30, once the inactives come out. We'll go live. We'll pregame up until game time. And a lot more to come as we get ready for Week 14 and Ravens-Steelers. Storied rivalry coming up on Sunday at the bank. Talk soon.